Hello there, Utter Bros here.
All right, what's up? So today we're going to be doing an in the bag for both myself and Travis. So I am Spencer, the first Utter brother. We're going to be going through from our speed and everything. So with the putting putters, we're going to have daggers. I do have two daggers. I have the zero medium one. It's a little bit softer, so I like this one if I'm further away. And then we do have the hard sense one, the Ricky dagger, for if I'm closer. It's a little bit tougher, I can putt it a little bit harder. As far as throwing putters go, P2 if I need something absolutely dead straight. This thing is, perfect for throwing that way. It's also a harder putter, so, it can take kind of some of that damage. Next up, gotta have a couple zones. This zone right here is the oldest disc that I have left in my bag. First putter I ever owned. Didn't know, at the time that it wasn't really made for putting. It's really, really beat in, so I can kind of make it fly to the right or relatively straight if I need to. And then this zone, 5-claw, Z zone, throw this one forehand, backhand, pretty much always going to be my approach disc. So I throw this on probably 80% of all the holes. Next up are the mid-ranges. We just have two mid-ranges for now. I lost one, so I have to replace. I would normally have an Atlas here too. But we have the Truth and the Buzz. Very similar. The thing is, I like to throw the Truth forehand, and I like to throw the Buzz backhand. So same type of shot, really just depends kind of which one I want there. So pretty straight, or I can kind of make it go to the right a little bit, kind of fade back to the left at the end if I need to. Next, we're going to get into our fairway drivers. I think the stalker is kind of in the wrong position here, but I like the stalker for forehand, backhand shots. Relatively easy to throw. Also, this one looks cool when you throw it. So next, we have the Explorer. This is my go-to fairway driver. So if I need, a longer tee shot than say the Buzz or the Truth can really produce, this is really stable. So it's going to come to the left, not too hard, but really, really nice, consistent disc, the Explorer.
Right hand, backhand.
Yeah. The Leopard, barely use this because I'm not very good at doing it, but it's more for those turnover backhand shots. So if I want a disc that kind of goes to the right, kind of does that job, as well as this Dragon is kind of beat, or not the best disc, but it kind of does that too. But I also throw this one on water holes where if I'm doing a practice round, I don't want to risk losing any of my other discs. The Heat is my understable. I guess this is our first distance driver. We're getting into some 9-speed discs here, but the Heat is perfect disc for me if I need to go do a little S-line, kind of understable type thing. I can relatively get this to go straight. This one is newer because I lost mine, unfortunately. But still works really well. The Escape is kind of the opposite of that. Very, very, very stable. It basically is going to go up and it's going to go to the left for me. So if I need a disc that goes up, goes to the right, a little more distance than the Explorer, or sometimes I'll throw this one forehand too. Perfect for that. The Undertaker, I barely throw backhand. I usually use this one for a thumber or a tomahawk disc. Just really like its consistency that way, but it is a very good disc for like going around or like really tight, really fast turns. The Onyx is one of my go-to discs now off the tee. Absolutely love this thing. I was kind of hesitant about trying it out for a while, but now that I love it a lot. Super, super stable driver. Like today we had a bunch of wind. This thing is always going to finish to the left. As long as, you throw it flat, put a little bit of hyzer on it. Even if you throw it anhyzer, it's going to finish to the left really strong regardless of the wind, things like that. Next up is the Scorch. So it's basically the same as the Heat, but if I need a little more distance on it, this is my go-to S-line understable distance driver. Trespass is going to be kind of my just go-to distance disc. If there's no wind, I would use this over the Onyx and pretty much throw it, on a hyzer angle and kind of just pretty much straight flying with a little turn to the left at the end. My absolute bomber distance disc, though, is the Thrasher. basically a little bit beefier than the Scorch. Is going to do the same thing, kind of throw it out on an S line, finish back my maximum distance disc here. And then the Ballista Pro, probably not able to throw this the way that it's meant to be right now, so I don't really throw that one quite yet. So that's my bag. You want to go over yours? All right, here's Travis to go over his discs.
Okay, so I'm the other bro, and we're gonna go over my bag. I am predominantly a forehand player, but I can also do backhand, but I'm trying to get better at that. For my putters, we're just gonna start with our slower speed disc. I do use a Groove Track Pro D-Banger GT as my main putter, and I do have some Jawbreaker and Soft Banger GTs that I use for throwing putters, but mainly use my Pro D-Banger for putting. I have two different types of zones. I have a Z zone. This one's a bottom stamp. And then I got Crystal Flex. This one is a Get Freaky edition. And then I can throw this one mainly forehand or backhand, and I can get it to do whatever I want. And this is more for shots that I want to know where it's going and I can trust it. But it doesn't always get a lot of the distance. And then I have up next are my mid-range, even though I use my zone for a lot of the stuff you'd use mid-range for. I got Axiom Disc Pyro Prism, which is Proton plastic, and it is a mid-range driver. It's a 5402, and I mainly use this to do a straight shot if I'm trying to go through the woods. Otherwise, you can backhand it, and it has little fade when it comes back. And then everyone has a buzz, usually, and that one is Wonder Bread stamp as well. And then I'm getting into my fairway drivers. I have a Fireball, which is one of my stable drivers, which is 9303. So when I want it to go to the left, when doing right hand backhand, I will throw this one. It will go forward for a good distance, and then it will always go and give a little skip at the end. And I have a Insanity, which is also Axiom disc. This is essentially the same disc as the Fireball, but it does go straighter for longer, and it does not have as much fade. So if you want a straighter shot with a little less fade and a little less skip, I would use this disc. And we're getting into our 9 speeds. Oh, the last two are 9 speeds. This is a Star Valkyrie. This one is going to be more of my stable throwing. So if I want it to go left, like today in the wind, I wanted it to fight the wind if it was coming in from the west. I just wanted to make sure that it would stay in the middle. And then I do have a Sidewinder, which is almost the same thing as the Valkyrie, but I like this one because America. And then the next one that I have, it is a 10 speed, but this is the disc that I just throw when I'm close to water, so I don't care if I lose it. It's a Starfire. Does pretty good forehand and backhand. So far I haven't lost it, so it must be good. And then I also have a Heat in my bag, which is a Wonder Bread stamp. This one is a Haley King Tour Series edition. And just like Spencer was saying, I use it for that S line. You just give it a little anhyzer on right hand, backhand, and then it will do its thing. And I have a Scorch. This is Ledgestone edition, and this is Jawbreaker plastic. And Essentially the same disc, just 2 speeds faster. So if you need a little more distance in the same type of line, you would throw that. And I do have a floating water disc. It is an Innova Wahoo. It is a 12 speed, and this is super stable. So today in the wind, it was perfect for that water hole that we had, and didn't have to fish it out of the water. So that's always good. And then we get into my other distance drivers. The flick is mainly way overstable. So you can throw it and it will just fight as hard as it can to go back the other direction. So when right hand, backhand, it will go way left. And then if you do forehand with it, it will curve way right. So depending on which way the wind was today, I would use this and it would stay in the middle of the fairway instead of going out of bounds. And the Zeus is basically the same thing. But this one will go a little bit farther than the flick and not turn as far, but it still will fight which direction you're trying to throw it, and it can be reliably thrown in the wind.
So one last time, these are the discs that are in our bag for now, subject to change. We are beginners still, technically. We've been playing for a while, but we really just started to learn what all these discs do a lot. So the zone is kind of our favorite one because you can kind of either forehand or backhand that one, and you can expect it to do the same thing pretty much every time. It's either going to fade to the right or it's going to fade to the left. You can put hyzer on it. You can throw it kind of flat. So it's a really good disc for that. We also rely on our lower speed discs a lot. You'll see Travis throw the Fireball a lot. I really like the Explorer. The Onyx is very trustworthy for me right now too. So a lot of stable discs for right now. And then hopefully as we branch out, we'll be able to throw some more advanced discs eventually. Like I said, we can, sometimes throw the Heat or the Scorch, kind of on an S line, but not as reliably as we would like to. So we're kind of working on that kind of stuff too. So let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. Please like and subscribe to the video. It'd help us out a ton. And stay tuned for more content.
Putter Bros out.